6 days until Super Tuesday in Oklahoma is in the spotlight. Bernie Sanders comes to Tulsa. We'll take you there live. And Aaron Brockovich has strong words about Oklahoma's earthquakes. This is OU Nightly. One week from today, we'll know who won the Oklahoma presidential primary and who won all 12 states on Super Tuesday.
And with just 6 days until voters cast their ballots, the most competitive races are right here in Oklahoma. Both Democratic and Republican battles are still a toss-up. And because the races are so tight, the nation's political eyes are turning to the Sooner State. Today, MSNBC did its entire broadcast from downtown Oklahoma City, talking to politicians and others about how they feel about how Oklahoma voters might do. But here's what the experts think. In the latest polls of likely voters that came out today, one-time runaway leader Donald Trump is increasing his lead, now 8 points ahead of the surging Marco Rubio. Rubio has overtaken Texas Senator Ted Cruz, with a lot of voters still undecided. And then the most recent Democratic poll, Hillary Clinton has lost her once huge lead over Bernie Sanders. Clinton drew 46%, while Sanders is right on her heels at 44%.
Clinton leads in 10 of the 12 Super Tuesday states, and that 2-point spread means Oklahoma's Democratic primary is the closest of all the states voting on Super Tuesday.
The close polls have a number of candidates and are rearranging scheduling and heading for the Sooner State this Friday. Both Marco Rubio and Donald Trump will try to drum up support in Oklahoma City, and rising Democratic candidate Bernie Sanders is bringing his campaign to Tulsa tonight.
A Senate committee is recommending that Oklahoma delay the income tax reductions scheduled to go into effect later this year. The tax cut would give the average family an extra $35 for spending, but in total, the cut adds $170 million to the state's huge budget deficit. Governor Mary Fallin opposes the delay in cuts.
And you know, weather has been up and down lately. One day I wear a jacket, the next day I don't. It's really been crazy.
I wore a raincoat yesterday. I don't know what else to put on.
Exactly.
Bradon, do you know what's coming up with weather?
Well, right now it's definitely better than it was yesterday. We're in the 50s and the 60s. 60 in Oklahoma City, Moore, and Edmond. 59 here in Norman and Yukon as well. A little bit warmer off to the west. Karchi, Gary, and Hinton. Tonight we'll cool down into the 40s. Plenty of stars if you want to get out the telescope and look out at them. Light northwesterly wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. But coming up in Maine weather, we do have a warm weekend ahead. Something to look forward to with a few 70s and all that and more in the 7-day forecast. But for now, back to you.
Thanks, Bradon. And as earthquakes in Oklahoma continue to set records, geologists report at least 20 earthquakes registering 2.5 or more in Oklahoma since Sunday. The strongest of those earthquakes happened yesterday morning when a 3.9 earthquake shook families across Edmond. Last week, the Oklahoma Corporation Commission took its strongest actions yet to reduce wastewater injections in the state. The injections are believed to be the cause of most Oklahoma earthquakes. But many call the state's response too little too late. And as Nightly's Stephen Cabler reports, Edmond residents are bringing in their own experts.
I am ashamed of what the oil industry has done to this state.
Earthquakes have rattled Oklahoma recently, so much so that celebrity environmentalist Aaron Brockovich came to the University of Central Oklahoma to give people advice.
I'm here because many people from Oklahoma, your community, parts of Arkansas, bordering on Kansas, who've experienced these earthquakes, have come to me.
In the town hall meeting at UCO, a panel of professors, lawyers, geologists, and lawmakers joined Ms. Brockovich to discuss with the public how they can begin to see change in the earthquake problem.
Whether Ms. Brockovich is there or not, and I suggest you go there too, and start knocking on some of your representatives and senators' doors from Edmond, Oklahoma.
Ms. Brockovich then added her own ideas about how the community could get involved and spark change.
So stay on Facebook, find those groups, Twitter out, sign the petitions, do the march, and stay involved.
The meeting brought about many ideas to help legislators as well as citizens that could eventually reduce the earthquakes shaking north central Oklahoma. Stephen Cabler, OU Nightly.
The next step for the Edmond Quake crowd will be a protest march at the state capitol April 12th. For more information, go to stopthequakes.com.
And OU Nightly's Ashley Sanchez joins us now in the news center with the latest election news from around the nation. Ashley?
Thanks, Lindsey. Super Tuesday is drawing near and politics dominate the news. Today, Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid announced he is endorsing Hillary Clinton for president. The Nevada native is the highest-ranking Democrat to get behind Clinton. He wants his party to follow his lead and give her their support. In an interview earlier this month, Reid was openly critical of Clinton's campaign. Another presidential hopeful with some big-name endorsements is Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Rubio was supposed to easily win Nevada, a state his campaign viewed as his. Despite some major endorsements from prominent Nevada politicians, Rubio came in second, falling by more than 20% to Donald Trump. Senator Reid also jumped into fray over filling the vacancy on the Supreme Court. Reid has suggested that President Obama might consider Republican Nevada Governor Brian Sandoval. CNN is reporting that the White House is currently vetting Sandoval for the vacancy. Senate Republicans say they'll block President Obama's nomination even if he chooses Sandoval. Sandoval's communication director says the governor has not been contacted by the Obama White House. That's what's happening around the world. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ashley. And senators from both parties have come to an agreement on what to do about Flint, Michigan's water crisis. They're allowing a long-stalled energy bill to move forward. The proposal authorizes $1 million in emergency aid to fix and replace the city's lead-contaminated water pipes. It also gives $70 million in loans to improve Flint's water infrastructure as a whole. On a national level, the deal authorizes $50 million for lead prevention programs and children's health improvement efforts. Still ahead on OU Nightly, Governor Mary Fallin makes it easier for former felons to apply for jobs.
And an abandoned Oklahoma City building is finally put to rest. Stay with us. Today, Governor Mary Fallin issued an executive order that forces state agencies to eliminate application questions pertaining to prior felony convictions. The order was issued to give convicted felons an opportunity to be considered for employment, but employers are not limited to conducting background checks and inquiring about criminal charges. 19 other states have adopted similar job application guidelines.
And moving on to today's business report, free shipping just got a lot harder to come by for Amazon non-Prime shoppers. If you spend enough money on the web retailer, you usually get free shipping, but Amazon just raised the minimum amount. Now you'll have to shell out $49 before an order ships for free. That's a 40% increase from the previous amount of $35. And Amazon is also bulking up its fashion business. The online retailer launched 7 in-house fashion labels. They feature clothing for men, women, and children. Altogether, there are more than 1,700 items, with most priced under $100. The clothes are only available on Amazon's U.S. and Canadian websites. And the American chocolate maker Mars is recalling its candy bars in 55 different countries. The recall includes millions of Mars Snickers and Milky Ways produced in the Netherlands. The company said the candy bars with the best before dates between June and October of this year should not be eaten. Celebration and variety packs are also being recalled.
Thanks, Lindsey. After years of community complaints, Oklahoma City's infamous Lantana apartment complex is finally being torn down. The abandoned complex, covered in graffiti and debris, was a neighborhood menace. After years of inactivity, the city stepped in to demolish the 7 fire-damaged buildings. The demolition will run the city about $250,000, which they expect the ownership group to eventually pay back. And more issues after a hidden hazard killed her son. One woman is fighting to change gas tubing in Oklahoma buildings. Becky Teal says her son was killed after a lightning strike ignited a home gas explosion. Now she's demanding Oklahoma's Uniform Building Code Commission to force home builders to use high-quality gas tubing. The new tubing could cost anywhere from $30 to $100 per new home. The board has unanimously voted against her request. And still ahead on OU Nightly, we'll have a live update from the OU baseball game.
And Facebook finally made a decision about the like button.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. We had cool conditions yesterday, almost brutal because we had so much rain and we were down in the 40s. Today we warmed up nicely. We hit the 60s. We're at 59 right now. Mostly sunny skies, a strong northwesterly wind at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Humidity's up a little bit because we have some cloud cover, moisture funneling in from the south after that rain yesterday. Around the rest of the state, 50s or upper 50s in the eastern portions of the state. More 60s as you head out west, 62 in Woodward, 60 in Elk City, 62 in Altus, and 61 down in Lawton and Wichita Falls. Now in weather headlines, temperatures are going to warm up again. I'm having a few 70s for you. We'll stay sunny, clear, and dry for most of the forecast, but rain chances will return going on later on into next week as you go back to Monday or Tuesday. Now, high pressure still in control way down here off to the south. We're in the 50s for most of the region, and it's going to stay that way today. Tomorrow as well, going to your noon hour. High pressure still in control, 49 degrees by noon. Another one coming right behind it, pushing it out. Not a lot going on. We'll stay sunny. This is just going to be a dry line that has more moisture south of it. It's going to change wind direction. Other than that, we're going to be in the 60s and even in the 70s later on in the 7-day forecast. Tonight, below freezing. We will have a frost or a hard freeze tonight. 31 in Norman. Cooler off to the north and west. 29 in Ponca City, 29 in Guyman as well. Above freezing here in southern Oklahoma. 36 in Altus, 34 in Lawton, and 35 in Wichita Falls. Now, as you have the door in the morning, 31 degrees, a few clouds still possible. They'll roll in overnight. Northerly winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Those clouds will begin to thin as you go by noon. 49 degrees, near 50. Plenty of sun, a lot to enjoy tomorrow. A little bit breezy, 15 to 25, gusting to 35. And now stick with us throughout the rest of the afternoon. 54 degrees. Sun really just clears out the clouds by the afternoon hour. Right at average. Our average is 54. A little windy, but other than that, not a lot to complain about. Highs tomorrow across the Oklahoma City Metro. 54 in Guthrie, Edmond, Oklahoma City, El Reno, and Yukon. 55 basically everywhere else. Anadarko, Moore, and Luther up as well. 57 warmest spot in Woodward. 55 in Elk City. 55 in Altus. 56 in Wichita Falls. And coolest off here to the west or east where we'll have some 40s in Joplin and Fort Smith as well. 7-day forecast, 62 on Friday, but here are the 70s that I promised. 71 on Saturday, 70 on Sunday, and then we'll dip back down into the 60s come Monday and into Tuesday, where I again have another thunderstorm chance, cooler down to average, 56 on Wednesday. But other than that, we still really can't decide what we want. We're going into March, so we're going to have a more active season coming up, but we can't decide right now.
Yeah, clearly it's a bipolar weather here in Oklahoma.
Just a little bit.
I am excited.
I'll take the 70s though.
Right,
I'll take
I am excited that the
especially
70s are
just
coming
in
back.
time for the weekend.
Right.
I can't complain.
Lindsey, any plans for the weekend?
Honestly, not yet. So, what about you guys?
Maybe, I don't know. We might as well head to the
get
pool.
the shorts, go to
70s?
Lake Thunderbird, do something as
Yeah.
you're going outside because you have plenty of time to enjoy it this weekend.
That's very true. Very true.
Well, thank you, Bradon.
Well, I hear we have some guests visiting from the Bedlam. The Bedlam game is going to be tonight. So, Clarke, tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks, Rasheeda. Yeah, there's a new defensive line coach named for the Sooners, and it's Bedlam Basketball Part 2 tonight. I'll have your preview. Sports is straight ahead. Welcome to OU Nightly Sports. I'm Clarke Sachs. Men's basketball looks to stay on the right track and sweep the Bedlam Series tonight at 8 p.m. at the Lloyd Noble Center. And round one last month was a tight one. Buddy and the boys will look to keep control of their second place standing in the conference. And some relief for Sooner fans, OSU star freshman Juwan Evans will not play after Travis Ford announced he's done for the season with a shoulder injury. Evans exploded on the scene in OU's 74-72 nail-biting win in Stillwater, where he finished with 42 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. And while the Sooners are looking for success on the court tonight, 4 players have found success in the classroom. Today, C.J. Cole and Ryan Spangler were named to the 2016 Academic All-Big 12 First Team, and Buddy Hield and Austin Menken were named to the Second Team All-Big 12 Academic Team. A close game in the Big 12 last night between Kansas and Baylor, and right before halftime, the full court pass to Baylor big man Rico Gathers, who hits the corner 3, giving Baylor a 3-point lead at halftime. But in the end, it's the Jayhawks who come through with a 66-60 win on the road and pretty much lock up the 12th consecutive regular season conference title. Just need one more game to get the record. And another crazy first half finish as Vandy's Matthew Fisher-Davis gets the block at one end, gets it to his teammate Josh Henderson for the 80-foot shot to beat the buzzer. Now that's a perfect example of turning defense into offense. Vandy goes on to win 87-74. And it's Wednesday, so time for your fun fact. Staying with college hoops, but switching to the women's side. This week, the Lady Vols dropped from the top 25 for the first time since 1985. That streak ends after 31 years and 565 consecutive weeks in the rankings. 103 of those weeks at number 1. And an update from Eldell Mitchell Park as OU baseball is taking on Abilene Christian. The game is in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and the Sooners are winning 1-0. The Sooners are looking to extend its streak to a 3-game win streak with today's game. And what we told you yesterday came true today. The university has made it official and named former Sooner Calvin Thibodeau as the new defensive line coach. Thibodeau played under Bob Stoops from 2002 to 2006 and was an All-Big 12 defensive end in 2005 where he had 10 sacks. He's coming back to his alma mater after holding the same coaching position at Kansas. And good news for the Thunder as they get an easier foe after an embarrassing home loss on Sunday. The team is in Dallas tonight to take on the Mavericks at 7:30, and OKC is 3-0 against the Mavs, and this season they are looking for their first win since the All-Star break. And the saga of Kyrie Irving and bedbugs continues. After the Cavs beat the Thunder on Sunday with Irving playing just 9 minutes, the Cleveland guard and his limited action was due to bedbugs in the Hilton Skirvin Hotel. Today, the Hilton Hotel apologized for the condition of Irving's bedroom, but he should be used to bedbugs. According to the Huffington Post, 4 of the worst 10 bedbug cities are in Ohio, and that includes Cleveland, coming in at the number 5 spot. And forget any stories you might have heard yesterday about Tiger Woods being incapacitated after his recent back surgery. Today, Tiger posted this video of himself taking swings on a simulator on his Twitter, and I think he's doing just fine. I mean, back surgery, healthy, either way, that swing's a lot better than me. I could not play golf to save my life.
Right. I tried. I went to Topgolf, and it just doesn't, it's not as easy as it looks.
I mean,
can't play golf to save my life.
You should try Topgolf.
No,
It's
I
better
don't
than
think
playing
so.
the actual game itself. You can just hit the ball and it goes wherever and you're fine.
I think I'm more for like the social part of Topgolf. Just
sit
sitting
around.
around
I mean,
eating.
and just
the
a few
eating
days
part.
ago, Topgolf reopened after the winter weather storms where some of the
The
nets
ice,
fell down.
right?
So you got a chance to go, especially if it's going to be 70s this weekend. Maybe you should head out to Topgolf.
I'm happy.
We might have to do that. I know there's a Thunder game coming up, but I heard that last week LeBron James was walking around and went to the Harkins Theater and nobody even noticed
just
him.
outside in Oklahoma City, and no one even picked up who he was, and he was with some of his teammates.
How do you not notice a 6'10" basketball player that it's LeBron James?
I guess people in Oklahoma City are just getting a little too comfortable with the basketball team around here.
Apparently.
You know, maybe if they see Kevin Durant, it's one thing, but now they're just like,
So nonchalant.
NBA
It's
guys,
just-
we get them all
Right.
the time in Oklahoma City.
It's just the MVP, like no big deal. LeBron James walking around Oklahoma.
Not special anymore for us.
No, not in here.
Well, do you think we're going to get a win tonight? I know OSU has struggled this season.
It's really going to look good, especially with Juwan Evans out, because he was the main reason that it was such a close game in Stillwater earlier in the year. And everyone kind of forgets that OSU struggled, but it's Bedlam. It's a rivalry game. It's always close, but it should be good. 2 of OSU's biggest players, Phil Forte, Juwan Evans, out for the season. So the Sooners have a real big shot at winning tonight.
People seem to play a lot harder when it's their rivals. Like people, it has nothing to do with your stats or anything like that.
I mean, they always say throw out the records, and it's true. If you look at Texas in football, it doesn't matter. If it's a rivalry
true.
game, it's always going to be a little bit tougher.
I think it'll be a good game tonight. We have to head out and see that.
Are you guys going?
Oh, yeah. Tip-off's at 8 p.m., so I'll be there.
Okay, great. Well, let's see how that weather's looking tonight for this tip-off. Oh, well, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but
Still ahead on OU Nightly. Facebook takes an emotional turn. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. We have a few updates for you. Norman police arrested a man in connection with the shooting that occurred early Tuesday morning. 28-year-old Jose Flores was booked on a charge of assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Police found him using a matching vehicle description, and the Oklahoma House has passed legislation for people charged with drug possession, lowering their prison sentence time. And the bill also makes it easier for offenders to get into state-sponsored drug court programs.
And ever like something on Facebook and wish you could like it a million times? Well, how about a love button? That's right, Facebook has expanded their emotion options, and now you can like a post, love it, wow it, and even express if you're mad about it with one button. The options are now available worldwide at a computer or a phone near you.
Well, I love that there's going to be a new love button. I've always
Love
wanted to make
the love button.
Right.
Hello, everybody. Can I hit love that I love the love button?
I
think
like,
that's your thing.
they have an angry button, a sad button. They have just everything. Like, you don't even have to talk anymore.
Too many things for me to learn, though.
No need to
so many
comment
things.
anymore.
No need to comment anymore.
Well, you know what I'm really loving is this weather.
Let's hit the love button on this weekend's weather.
Right.
How about that?
Yes.
70s this weekend before we have another chance of rain come next week. Tonight we're going to be nice, 57 by 6 p.m., cooling down to the 40s, 44 by 10 p.m., 40 at midnight. But there we go. There it is. 71 Saturday, 70 Sunday, 69 on Monday before we return to, well, like February-like weather and stuff that I don't like. 56 on Wednesday, 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, lows in the 30s, 50s, 40s, 50s, 40s. We can't decide what we want. I don't know, guys. What do you want?
I'll tell you, I want some more rain.
You want rain?
I like the rain, and people make fun of me, but for me, my sunshiny days are when it's cloudy and raining outside. I love those days. I love it. So it's a good thing I'm in Oklahoma, coming up with spring weather.
Yeah, you're just going to get a little bit of
Clarke,
everything.
You might want to move to Seattle. I do not
Oh,
like this
I've heard
rainy
that. It's
weather.
possible. I might.
I am not feeling it, but I am feeling this weather, and I can't wait for tonight's game. So,
There we go.
well, thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.